It's 1789. You're a peasant in rural France, and you haven't eaten a full meal in 3 days. The harvest failed last year. Bread prices have doubled, in some regions even more. You spend nearly 70 to 80% of your income just on bread. The winter was brutal. And yet, just a few miles away, the Palace of Versailles is hosting another banquet. You don't know it yet, but everything is about to change. You are one of roughly 28 million people in France, and almost all of them are in the same boat as you. French society is divided into 3 estates. The first estate, the clergy. The second, the nobility. And then there's you, the third estate, everyone else. About 97% of the population, carrying nearly the entire tax burden of the kingdom, while the other 2 estates pay almost nothing. King Louis XVI sits at the top of all of this. He inherited a kingdom already drowning in debt, roughly 4 billion livres in total, partly from France's involvement in the American Revolution, which alone cost around 1.3 billion livres, a war fought, ironically, in the name of liberty. His wife, Marie Antoinette, is wildly unpopular. Whether or not she actually said, "let them eat cake," she almost certainly didn't. The quote actually appears in the writings of Rousseau before she was even queen. The sentiment captures exactly how disconnected the crown feels from people like you. Then comes July 14th. Rumors spread that the king is mobilizing troops to crush the National Assembly. Paris erupts. Crowds storm a fortress and prison called the Bastille, looking for weapons and gunpowder. The warden is killed. His head is paraded through the streets on a pike. It's gruesome. It's terrifying. But to you and millions of others, it feels like the first time ordinary people have actually won something. The Bastille holds only 7 prisoners at the time of the storming: 4 forgers, 2 men deemed mentally ill, and 1 minor noble. Symbolically, though, it represents everything: royal tyranny, arbitrary imprisonment, the old world. In the countryside, panic spreads in a wave historians call the Great Fear, running through July and August of 1789. Peasants, people just like you, attack noble estates, burn records of feudal debts, refuse to pay taxes. The old order is crumbling in real time. On the night of August 4th, 1789, the National Assembly abolishes feudalism. On August 26th, they issue the Declaration of the Rights of Man and Citizen, proclaiming liberty, equality, and popular sovereignty. You feel, briefly, like you won. But the revolution doesn't stop, it accelerates. On April 20th, 1792, France declares war on Austria. Prussia follows shortly after. Foreign powers, terrified that revolution might spread to their own kingdoms. Inside France, radicals argue the revolution hasn't gone far enough. Moderates argue it's gone too far. And in June of 1791, the king is caught trying to flee the country. The flight to Varennes. A betrayal that shatters whatever trust remained between the crown and the people. Trust collapses. Paranoia sets in. By July 1793, a man named Maximilien Robespierre and the Committee of Public Safety are effectively running France. The guillotine, introduced as a more humane and equal form of execution, one method for all, regardless of class, becomes the symbol of the age. Thousands are executed as enemies of the revolution. Nobles, priests, political rivals, and eventually, ordinary people accused of insufficient revolutionary enthusiasm. Around 17,000 people are officially executed during the Terror. When you count those who die in prison, in mass executions, and in the chaos surrounding it, the number climbs to somewhere between 30,000 and 40,000. You keep your head down, literally. Robespierre himself is eventually arrested and guillotined on July 28, 1794. The event known as the Thermidorian Reaction. The Terror ends almost as suddenly as it began. By the time it's all over, France has gone from absolute monarchy to constitutional monarchy to republic to terror to, on November 9, 1799, Napoleon Bonaparte seizing power in a coup and declaring himself first consul of France. You survived. Millions didn't. Was it worth it? The feudal system is gone. You have rights on paper you never had before. But you're still poor. The bread is still expensive. And a new strongman is in charge. The French Revolution didn't give you the world you dreamed of in 1789, but it cracked open an idea that ordinary people could reshape the world that would never fully go away.